Before us stands Mount Cryer, the most isolated peak in the Azmiri Ranges. At its summit, you will find the Kwachik Vault. There is no predicting the state of those within. If their discipline and loyalty endure after all these generations, they will know us by a certain phrase. Tell them, the time of the sparrow has come.
I will give them this message.
If they will not listen, I will come to assist you. Remember, subdue them, but do not kill them. They will fight for us one way or another. In my youth, all I wanted was power. I was the smartest, the sharpest. I rose to prominence on sheer force of will. Once I became the right hand of Queen Atziri, I realized that the system of merit I believed in was an illusion. Knowledge and science were merely ruthless tools for the nobles in their mad quest for eternal dominion. I had no power. I was a slave. From then on, I spent every spare moment secretly pursuing ways to save my people. I placated Atziri and the nobles by day, but fought a war against death itself by night. The flesh, the soul, machinery, time itself. No possibility was left unexplored. If all else failed, that is what the Kwachik Vault was for. Should the entire world be ravaged by the cataclysm, Sun Val would still remain, deep in the most remote mountain. The final and most desperate contingency. I am wary now after hearing about the people living in sunken Utzal in your era. Isolation and containment drove them to horrific ends. There were systems put in place in Kwachik to avoid such problems, but the vault was never intended to last this long. If the people in the vault are still healthy and sane after all this time, it will be proof that the Val are indeed worthy of my extreme efforts. If they are not, I already suspect what might have gone wrong. The cataclysm came sooner than I'd hoped. The full complement of originally intended inhabitants was not achievable. I had to fill out the ranks with some candidates that I had previously ruled out due to their religious proclivities. Blood rituals and sacrificial rites were not uncommon in the Empire, but I disdained such wastefulness. More than that, religion tends to spread in confined spaces. I can only hope sanity has prevailed within the vault.
Welcome to Mount Cryer. Not the friendliest peak in the Ranges. Keep your footing, keep your wits. You might just leave with both intact. If not, well, these slopes are littered with folk who made the same mistake. I know the one. Once a proud hunter, now lost to madness. Put her kin to the spear, because the spirit told her to. So she says. More likely the snake. If you could deal with her, you'd be doing us all a favor. And probably her as well. Some call him a genius, others a monster. The truth is usually somewhere in between. Me, I say power like his comes with a cost. And it's never the one wielding it who pays. Remember that the next time you go thinking you're on the same side. I am troubled by stories of deception. By voices that are not the spirit. Is there someone out there misleading us? Whispering in our ears, leading us to our dooms. It sounds like our stories of a snake, but of that, I know little. Hasn't troubled us for generations. An elder would know better than I.
Good day to you. I'm Hilda. Been roaming the world for some time now, hunting all manner of beasts. And as soon as I get my arse back to Mount Cryer, it's all turned to shite. My tribe has fled the region. Someone was roughing them up. I got one guess who. Lythara, a skilled hunter from a neighboring tribe, has lost her mind. She and her followers drove my people out. Then she turned on her own. I'd sort her out myself, but she packs quite a punch. If you're heading up the mountain, you'll have to deal with her. But there's something else I'd ask of you. There's one beast I've not been able to best. A yeti deep within the caves of Mount Crier. A truly fearsome bastard. Many claim to have seen him, just not up close. One thing's certain, though. You'll hear him. Oh, an unmistakable howl against the icy winds. Seek him out, slay him, and bring me his tusks. I'll make it worth your while. Outstanding. Be careful. He's a tough bugger. The spirit is a load of codswallop, if you ask me. Have nothing more to say on it. All right then, you nosy blighter. Let me tell it as it is. I'm a hunter, I run the woods, the fields, and I've tracked many beasts. Yet I've never heard a voice or saw a light leading me. It's always just been me. Alone. The spirit stayed silent when my dear brother lay starving. Nor did it light up the night when my ailing mother was lost to the wilderness. Even if it does exist, what use is it? In a world brimming with pain and misery. For nothing. There's living Val in Mount Crier. Well, I'll be damned. The stories are true. It's not some children's tale from the elders, but a yarn we weave on the winter solstice. Many generations ago, a Val named Uramoti came to us and wanted to buy a mountain from the Izmiri. You can't buy a mountain, it's nonsense. They simply exist. So we let him pass. Countless Val marched up there, trying to capture Mount Crier. Well, they busied themselves, certainly, as eventually they went silent. We assumed they died up there, trying to buy the mountain from the sky. Perhaps they did make a deal, but with Prospero instead. He'd be the type to sell you a mountain. Been hunting that yeti in the proper season these last 5 years. Oh, he's a shifty one. I follow his howl, but I think he knows. I think he's got the sense. I bet he feels the hair on his neck stand up when I'm on his trail. He'll never feel you coming, though. Doesn't know your scent.
Dear mountain-born of Crier, another solstice is upon us. We shall be joined at the week's end by the fine hunters of Draelin for a feast most spectacular. Ready the meat and the mead. Bring your most splendid of songs. We shall dance and sing merry into the longest night. Spirit guide you always. Elder Crovin Maddox. The solstice draws near, but the owls bring me worrisome tidings. They speak of erratic behavior, of whispers in the night. The spear of Draelin has been attacking animals for cruel sport, rather than as a necessary hunt. Her tribe push and rough each other, raging at random, only to grow eerily calm moments later. It is perhaps not concerning enough to cancel our coming celebrations, but we should be wary and have our hunters remain vigilant. I doubt Lythara and her tribe would dare behave like that in our presence.
My kin died by the spirit's will. You'll die by mine.
You are truly insane.
Spirit, guide my spear. Winds obey me. My faith mid fury. Spirit, guide me. You defy the very spirit itself. Ha!
this a mercy.
My devotion, my lifetime of service, has it really come to this? We got our way through this remote mountain like cowardly dogs, hiding our treason from our own ruler. To merely think such a project would mean death, since it implies we doubt her leadership. I hesitate to imagine what she will do to us, to my children, if she finds out we actually built it. There is only one way to ensure my children live on. I must send them into the vault without me. I will finish this task, then return to Azzoatl to play my part. Here then is my last accomplishment. After the vault, this simple carving, left for history, left for any who might survive. The Queen is mad, and I hope she finds the immortality she seeks. May Yaumak deny her death's journey, so that we may finally be free of her.
Today you die, overgrown monkey! Magnificent beast.
Well, look at you then. Quite the hunter. Oh, these'll fit in nicely with my trophy collection. I thank you. Perhaps we can work together again sometime.
Against my will. cold to rival the winter of the world.
The Winter Owl has heard your name.
He does not command the monsters, but nor do they attack him. Curious.
I am Elder Maddox. Your silencing of the wayward spear has calmed the spirit. Here, I observe the biting chill of the gale, while I mourn our losses. The Winter Owl blesses you, and the spirit concedes. I have little time left in this world, and I am on my last adventure. From here, I shall observe winter across 3 weeks of night. Then I shall join the wisdom of owls who came before me. Before you depart, I bear a gift. Choose wisely. It is my choice, my decision. I have lost greatly. In a moment's hesitation, I allowed untold suffering to befall my tribe. So now, I observe, not as penance, not for forgiveness, just so. I saw what was coming. The wayward spear and her people. They lost sight of the spirit. They fell to the promises of the snake. I should have acted, but I did not. And now, I observe, alone. The spirit is all things. The spirit is the world, and it is us. But the snake stands alone. The snake whispers, lies, manipulates. It has been so since the time of the Mother Soul. And now it speaks as the spirit, but is not, leading the foolish to ruin. The Mother Soul was hope, the will to carry on, no matter the cost, no matter the sacrifice, no matter the consequences. The people of the mountains cut ties with the Mother Soul long ago. We know not why, only that it happened. The first children might be the only ones that could recall such things now. Is this story time? The first children were sent to us for protection. They were nothing but trouble, banished into the wastes despite the ash and famine. Tragic. The people of the mountains were very proud of the last children, though. Solari, Lunari, and Viridia, of course. I know that you know them. How could you not? Solari and Lunari are right there in the sky. And Viridia is beneath your very feet. You tease an old man. Leave me be.
The worst of the cold is behind me, I hope.
Etched into the mountain Kraya, for the glory of the Val, 200 gave their lives in service to the Queen. Many more would have died if not for Jaquani's constructs. All this for the glory of Adziri, Uromoti, architect of expansion.
Taste lightning. Lightning rends flesh.
Another beast led by nothing but its own hunger. The Val languished in their own opulence. A pity.
One day soon, the vow will spread from this place like wildfire. The decline in detected corruption that began 20 years ago continues at pace. Soon, we will reach the threshold left for us by our great forebears. Ready yourselves! Solin and I have long served you, crafting the blood euphorics and eradicating pain. No longer. We must be sharp-eyed and sharp-minded. After countless years, our now is about to become at long last. We will be remembered as the heroes that went forth and repopulated. You may now couple and bear children as you wish. The carnal pleasures are ours once more. The limit is lifted. The new Val Empire begins here. Now, with us.
Listen now. The time of the sparrow has come.
What nonsense do you speak?
No matter. Now you die! Perish!
Stand the test of time. The epics of a time long forgotten. Lineage of the Val! Our sacrifice is long remembered! The epics of the Jackal! Chaos unleashed! No sacrifice is too great! Your sacrifice is too great! Stay strong, Selena! We stand the test of time! You vile dog! Chaos unleashed! Stand the test of time! We live for one another! Chaos unleashed!
stand the test of time! Back of blood! May it be the full of your doom! You got lucky! Sacrifice is movement! Classic maneuver! Of blood! Reverence of a time long forgotten! Drown in the horror of your choice! Bath of blood! How dare you! Loyal transfusion! No sacrifice is too great! Drown in the horror of your choice! Enough! We submit!
Doriani lives. If you wish to as well, then kneel.
Fools! Did you not hear the code phrase?
Is it really you?
Ayashiri? Doriani himself? I am not worthy!
You seem sane enough. The spirit of the Val endures. Assemble yourselves. The time has come. You will march forth unto war.
As you wish, Master Thaumaturge.
Let us meet back in King's March. The Quachik shall join our cause.
We have one task, and one task alone. To survive with our dignity intact. It is the dignity of the Val, of all those who came before. We were born in this vault, and we will die in this vault. We are not allowed the freedoms we read of, the freedoms we dream of. We cannot couple for love, or have children as we choose. We cannot choose our roles. We cannot wander an open world as we see fit. We must accept that our now is not at long last, and we must bring stillness to the dream. As your new High Priest, alongside my sister, I will endeavor to bring calm to your minds, to bring numbness to the pains in our hearts. That is the greatest calling our now has to offer.
The Quachik may have joined our cause, but that will last only as long as we share a common enemy. Be wary. If we do manage to stop the Twilight Order and slay the beast, we may suddenly have more to worry about.
Never seen such a woeful misunderstanding of the spirit in all my days. Don't know what possessed her to think she were doing its work. Spirit never asked me to kill an innocent. And if it did, well, I'd have to question my own sanity. Don't feel good putting someone down. Don't lose any sleep over it. Truth is, a lot of people are dead because of her. And now, no more will be. You crested Mount Crier and live to tell the tale. Few can claim that. Fewer still who ain't as merry. I'm sure your path now leads elsewhere. But no, you'll always be welcome here.
You moving on? Aye, I should as well. Good luck with that, Dory Earth and whatnot. Should you end up blowing yourselves up again, try to escape back this way, maybe.
So this is King's March. Oh, quite the marvel. And Danik's Forge. Oh, what I wouldn't give for some of that gear. We're ready and waiting. Right behind you.
This will be a war for the very soul of Reclast. I can imagine no greater battle, no greater cause. If we are to die, we will die well.
The Val shall stand with Reclast against the beast. If we had this alliance in my era, things would have turned out differently. Let us make things right. This must be the last cycle of history.
It has been thousands of years since I've seen an alliance such as this. Reclast has finally united the way I always hoped it would. Come, let us plan our assault on Oriath.
I've been working on a strategy of sorts.
Indeed, the time of heroes is upon us once more.
The time has come. We can only hope our alliance will be enough. That fateful hour, a return to Oriath. We can set sail immediately.
Let us show the world that we will not allow it to be destroyed.
With our forces united, we set sail from King's March and head for Oriath. But as we approached, the unthinkable took place. We were too late. My worst fears have come to pass. The world is consumed by madness once more. Our last hope for refuge is the ziggurat of Utzal. Perhaps Doriani's preparations will shield us while we plan our next move. It appears Doriani truly does have a plan for every contingency.
I am Solim. I will assist you in any way I can, for Doriani has ordered me to do so. Conversation beyond that is not required.
Hello, Outlander. I spent my life studying you in our archives. I can't believe I get to meet one of you in the flesh. This will be an interesting time. We did not have access to the trial in the Quachik Vault. We entreated the favor of Chaos several times over the centuries, but they were not interested. There were very few possibilities in the vault. All of us were dedicated and disciplined to our cause, so there was no infighting. No dramatic turns. Boring to watch, I imagine. I am intrigued by Alva's existence. We were sent to the vault to act as a failsafe for the Baal, should they be wiped out. Your bloodline proves that at least some of us survived on the outside. Perhaps, despite all of Master Doriani's efforts, the best plan was simply to have faith and let the spirit of our people win through. The first generation sealed in the Quachik Vault passed down stories about you. I never thought you were real. But here you are, with Master Doriani no less. Truly, this is a time of wonders. We thought you were a curse and to plague us, but you may be our salvation instead. In the vault, we had our duties, and little else. I spent my free time reading tomes in the archives. They contained highly detailed information about Reclast's plant life, animal life, and surface cultures. I thought I knew everything, but knowing is nothing next to seeing. As I understand it, the Val were a shining beacon of power that kept the world safe. They were surrounded by savage cultures that burned, pillaged, and ravaged Rayclast. Without us, modern life must have been quite terrifying. Am I wiping that all away? The cataclysm may have been a blessing in disguise. The Marageth were not so bad, according to our tomes. They were militaristic and headstrong. Criminals were tattooed and cast out for a time. The intention was good, but the implementation was wasteful. I should have been using all that blood and those organs for more useful ends. In Quatic, we used everything we possibly could. Nothing discarded. A few tomes describe the Karui as rabid, diseased animals that ate each other and fought for dominance. I don't know if I believe that, though. One account was very different. It was a diary. A noble woman fell in love with a Karui man from the Rongokurai tribe. She described them as a culture of poetic warriors with intensely strong communal bonds. A biased source, clearly, but a strong note of dissension among the texts. I've never read anything about these Etzomites, as you call them. The system of runes you describe is also unfamiliar to me. To be quite honest, the concept of runes sounds like a jest, and I am not your fool to toy with. Thrartus is now home to a culture of exiles from the Eternal Empire. I've never heard of this Eternal Empire. They sound like upstarts who took advantage of our absence. In our era, Thrartus was inhabited by scattered tribes that originally came from the south. They found a slightly warmer climate to their liking. That, and the geological vapors. They were described as quite intoxicating. The Asmeri hold the oldest wisdom. They were already in their mountains when the first Val was born from Shivakwa's remains. They will likely still be up there, even now, after this cataclysm. Troubled, but alive. Oriath. A derivative of the original name for the island the Golden Gulf called home. They split off from the Asmeri during a difficult time in history. There was a time of famine, fire, and despair. And the gods rose from the ashes. Or so they say. The only god I've ever seen, supposedly, is lying over there doing nothing to aid us. The histories are confusing. When it comes to the culture, I believe you're asking about Otsasa, Owl, Potembo. These names are treated more like myths than historical facts. Over the years, I've spent a few of our excess newborns trying to scry for dreams about them. So far, I've seen nothing useful.
Well, I wasn't expecting to see you quite so soon. Least of all back here.
It is unfortunate that we meet this way, but I am glad you are safe, Miss Valai.
I've been quite busy studying that blood magic tome I found. If I'm honest, I'm quite amazed how much it seems to have sunk in already. In any case, welcome back. It's a good thing we resolved our differences when we did. Without Toriani, we'd have died out there. I saw the sky, the people. They were... well, let's just say I now understand why Val ruins look the way they do.
You're finally awake. That's a small consolation. We have lost so much. The Hooded One used the weapon to keep us alive during the cataclysm. We were too close. It absorbed too much energy and was shattered. I retain only a piece of it. The situation is grim. The Hooded One has become comatose. Rayclast has been devastated and is no longer habitable. Grieving would only be a waste of precious time. We must face reality and make difficult choices. We are living the worst possible outcome, but I did anticipate every contingency. Before us is a translocation device, which should allow us to open portals to a wide range of coordinates across Rayclast. With this, we can reclaim the world from the grasp of corruption, so that civilization can one day return to its former heights. There was some damage, but while you were unconscious, we worked to repair the machine. I believe it will function as desired, but it must be tested. That is where you come in. By placing waystones in the machine, they will help calibrate the journey. The corruption at the destination will respond to both the energies we use and that we ourselves expect to find. Let us use this malleability to our advantage. Let us see if the machine is still capable. In a time of minimal sentience, and most of it mad, what you encounter out there can be quite malleable. What we expect to find can shape things. The energies we use in our translocation device can influence outcomes. That device was made possible, after all, by a very special patron. They're likely watching us even now, and finding great humor in our travails. I was told many cryptic things. I was asked to... No, I shouldn't say. I don't understand, at least not yet. I was told this was the only way, yet still, I fought to find another path. I believe we make our own fates. But here we are. If only I had the full picture.
If it helps, history does tell of a slow recovery after a cataclysm. It will likely take some time to set things right.
This is the worst possible outcome, but I remain resolute. We mustn't give up.
Every bit of corruption you cleanse helps rebuild the Rayclast we knew. We've at least got to try.
Hello again. I mean, that is to say, my husband's told me all about you. You're the local that caused such a ruckus. I'm Gwenin, his luckier half, and his more exhausted half. Let's put you to work then, shall we? When you've been on a quest as long as I have, you tend to wind down a bit. Sometimes I get the whole gang back together for a run or two, but mostly, it's just me, over and over. Yet another cataclysm on Rayclast. What happened this time? You didn't reach Oriath soon enough? When exactly did it happen? The ship had just gotten to the harbor. All right. Tell me everything. I'll memorize every detail for posterity. And I'll have Alva write it down. Her pluckiness really gets on a person's nerves over the years. Or so I assume that it would, eventually. He and the children are why I do what I do. And I'll never give up, even if it all seems hopeless. The relics of our ancestors are where they're supposed to be now, at least. Which is to say, scattered all over? Oh, this job is pure chaos. Chaos? Why would you ask me about them?
Luck means nothing to me. Only power.
Rayclast is wounded and broken. We must reshape its future and heal it anew. The initial cataclysmic event is over, but corruption is still radiating from certain locations. From these points, it spreads like a disease. Travel to one of these regions and investigate. We must know why it is still spreading. Report back to me with your findings, and we will plan our next move. You must start with the areas of least corruption. They are still deadly, but should be survivable for short spans. Cleanse enough of them to give us an outside foothold. The disciples of Kamasa stockpiled a great many things in their modern lust for wealth. The right key may open doors long forgotten.